everybody. Welcome to the Magna Carta Sports Podcast. We are your hosts here with my boy Al tonight. Al, what's
Yes,
going
sir.
on, baby?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. Getting through the week, a lot of good sports news, definitely some things to talk about. But yeah, we definitely gonna take a dive in there.
Yes, sir. The sports world is definitely heating up, bro. We, like you say, we got a lot of different topics we can start with, choose from. The NBA playoff races are heating up. Your Knicks are on a 9-game win streak, so we'll definitely jump into that. But we got to start with the number one topic over the last couple of days.
Right.
Ja Morant has been in the news for a number of altercations. Different stories were popping out. And then he decided to jump on Instagram Live and just give us all, a perfect show for podcasters. Flashing his pistol on his Instagram Live, and has since been, stepped away from the team. It looks like it's going to be a long one, an indefinite suspension or leave. So definitely just interested to, we'll open up with Ja and definitely want to hear your thoughts on the whole situation going on with him right now.
Yeah, that situation is definitely crazy. I know like we all been seeing like over the past few weeks, like just different incidents here and there. And I don't think anybody thought it would ever get to this point. I think now it's definitely gonna make some players like just walk that fine line. I think it's definitely they're gonna try to set an example for the rest of the league. And that's basically what they're gonna try to do. Like Ja definitely, I'm sure he knows that he made a mistake. So now it's just about moving forward. That's crazy. Like showing a gun on camera is just wild. I don't know like what he was trying to portray for real. But yeah, that affects the team too. It affects the Grizzlies crazy, because they were, I don't know, what are they, second seed in the West right now?
Still still second.
Second seed, but like there's still people in the race for that. As you can see, the Suns are coming up now. You got the Kings third seed, like, so it is just like they can definitely drop in. Right now they're talking about possibly 50-game suspension. That's just crazy. That almost bleeds into next year, right? So that's something they definitely gotta, work as a team to see how they're gonna come back from that loss.
Yeah, man. Ja, keep that thing on him. Morant, he just, I don't, like you said, I don't know what he's thinking.
Talk about Ja Warrant.
Ja Warren, they got all the names, Ja Wick. So yeah, man, I don't know what he was thinking. I thought it was a fake video when I first saw it
Right.
pop up on my news feed. I watched it, immediately like 10 times straight. I'm like, wait a second, is he really
for
the
real
gun right now for
for
all these
real
applications and stuff? So I mean, we talked about Ja, previously on the pod, him just being, one of the most exciting players in the league right now.
Yeah.
And all I can think of is just, in this day and age of social media and brand building, all the players are trying to hype themselves. I think
Yeah.
he just got caught up with, his game on the court is just so
Yeah.
exciting. You're
Exactly.
all locked in. I think he's just,
Yep.
trying to carry that into his social media.
Yeah.
He has, a lot of followers, of course. People want to see what he's doing, and I think that just kind of got to his head
Yeah.
a little too much with this situation, man, and it ended up in a explosive situation.
Yeah. Yeah, no, man. Like, I mean, like you said, like his personality on the court is very like vibrant, like he's loud on the court, basically, like he's energetic, he takes that personality off the court too. Now I remember a couple weeks ago they said like there was an issue in Indiana. I don't know what the status is on that issue, but like I think they were saying with guns were involved in that too. And then you also heard about like, yeah, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, they allegedly, lasers were allegedly coming from a car pointing at players and staff on the Pacers. So
that should have been like a red flag right there. Like, whoa, like this is getting like out of hand type of thing, but then a week or two after that, you hear about the teenager, even though I heard that that's like something that happened a little while ago, but it's like, dang, man, like where are these gunplay things coming from? Like, but yeah, this one definitely, this could be potentially a career changing thing for him. I mean, the talent is obviously going to be there and stay there, but it's just like, man, that's almost because the 50 games is going to bleed into next year, right? So is
for
just
sure.
like that's a good chunk of a
Yeah,
game's missing.
50 games that'll definitely run into next season, you know, through the playoffs, things like that. He's out tonight against my Lakers, thank God, because
Thank
he
God.
killed us the last time. But yeah, man, I just don't, you know, you look at the situation around him, his pops, you know, is always in the picture. But it kind of seems like he's just, you know, having a good time. A lot of people have, you know, started to criticize him, maybe
Yeah.
saying he needs to, you know, step up, be more of just a father figure instead of, you know, I'm not gonna get into too much of
Right,
that
right,
because
right, right, right.
you
Right,
know, I don't know their family situation like that.
right.
Um, but you would definitely think, you know, him being the prized athlete that he is, you know, he just signed a deal worth upwards of $230 million this past off season.
Yeah.
Just got the signature shoe, just
Right,
got deals with Powerade. You would think there would be people around him that this would just never happen, but
right.
you know, here we are, and you know, definitely hope, like you said, he learns from this situation and you know, other
Crazy.
players again, former players are now coming up saying, you know, oh, I've carried before or I
Right,
carry all the time. Like you got a lot of things you got to deal with being a star player.
right.
All that's cool, but when you get on camera,
On social media. Right,
reason you
right,
know you're clearly he was drinking, he was partying.
right,
Seeing you know Plexico Burrs have you know shot himself in the leg
right.
previously in the club, so just
Mhm.
not the situation that you want to put yourself in being that star of that magnitude, man. Just keep it on the court is you know the advice I would have for him. He's a spectacular player on the court, and we just want to see him you know continue his
Yeah, man.
basketball career and you know, continue to get that money that as, you know, as another black man, I just want to see, you know, all black men get the reach their full potential and, you know, make as much money as they can.
100%, man. Like, I hope that that situation gets turned around for him. Like you said, other players are coming out. You have Paul Pierce coming out. You have other players coming out. Obviously, Gilbert Arenas had a situation like that, But yeah, it's definitely something that's, with them it's kind of different, right? Because social media they weren't on social media really with it. It now for their standpoint, they could look at it almost as self-defense, as of job where it almost is like just flaunting, like or showing off in a way. So, but hopefully they get to fight that. He gets to fight that in a different way. But yeah, man, what do you think this does for the Grizzlies?
Dude, I see them, you know, they were already struggling, you know, since he made
Oh
Ja
yeah,
Morant made those comments about him being good in the West too. They were already struggling since then. I see them, you know, potentially falling. There's only a couple more games left in the season, so I still think they'll make the playoffs. But
hmm
if he's going to miss extended time, I don't see them winning any playoff series that they will be involved in. The West is too tough this year. Um,
hmm
we matched up with them tonight against my Lakers. I think the Lakers, you know, we're desperate for wins. I think we're going to pull that out, hopefully.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I could see them easily, you know, falling down to you know fourth or fifth seed in the West if he's again going to miss extended time.
Now that bleeds into the playoffs. So even if they do fall, that playoff run is not probably looking at the best, So, let's see how they bounce back from that. I guess ever since that situation they had against the Lakers, that on court situation, they saying that they haven't been the best on the road. I gotta get my stats right, but yeah. So it seems like you said like they've been fighting an uphill battle.
Their whole team like they like to pop off and you know talk their trash. I mean, it's all part of ball.
Yeah,
Yeah, they just gotta make sure they just keep it on the court.
yeah,
They're still very young. You know, they got a bunch of young players on their roster. Maybe they look to you know next going into next year add a couple more veterans for
yeah,
leadership purposes because you know they like we've talked about they've been in you know a number of on court and
yeah.
on Twitter altercations, and now with the job situation, they look like they're lacking in leadership and maturity in some areas. So
Right.
definitely look for them to add some veteran pieces for sure next season.
Definitely, man. Hope the best for Ja, man.
Yeah, Ja, get your head right, man. Take this time. We're wishing the best for you. Love watching you play, man. Please come back and do what you need to do, bro.
Respectfully, respectfully.
But yeah, man, the NBA is just heating up overall. You know, again, the playoff races. Again, I love what Adam Silver has done with this the play-in tournament now.
Right.
So really coming down the stretch, you have you know almost the entire league still you know fighting for a potential playoff spot. Um, Kevin Durant, you know, made his debut for the Suns, and he just looks like he fit in seamlessly. They're 3-0 since they added him. beating his former Brooklyn teammate Kyrie and the Dallas Mavericks on Sunday. Intense matchup, man. I love this. This is like a new rivalry that's the NBA Suns Mavs. So we saw the stars were shining on both ends. KD, Book, and then Luka and Kyrie both showed out for the Mavs as well. What do you think of that matchup?
Man, I thought that matchup was kind of crazy. Like you said, like this is stemming from last year too, right? So like, you know, the Mavs came back from that 3-1, which is crazy, you know. So they now have the new addition in Kyrie, you know, that's a good addition for them. And obviously the Suns got KD now, and that almost makes them like unstoppable. You know, you got one of the best scorers ever on your team. Kyrie is a good addition to the Mavs, but you know, now when you're talking in terms of size, matching up against the Suns, it looks kind of different, you know, because who's guarding Booker, right? And then you got KD there, so it's kind of a disadvantage. I thought the game was closer than it should have been, so that's a good sign on the Mavs' behalf, right? Like Luka missed the game-winning layup or floater, and you know that definitely could have put them over and make them win the game. But this is definitely going to be a rivalry. Like, I don't know, do they see each other again before the playoffs? Possibly. I got to look into that. But yeah, man, the game was good. You saw a lot of trash talking there, so yeah, I'm trying to see what they're talking about. Who's gonna actually, you know, take that lead in the playoffs?
Yeah, that Luka and D Book matchup is looking like the one to take us into the next 5 to 10 years.
Yes, sir.
Book looks like he's poised for a great playoff run. He looks so relaxed and in rhythm now that they added KD. Like you mentioned, most of the time now is going to be maybe your second or third best defender that's going to be guarding Booker now, because you got to probably put your best defender on KD. So he's just tearing it up. He's averaging like 35 plus in the 3 games that KD has played, and then I mean you add Kevin Durant to an already tough lineup in Phoenix, and he's going to come in and do what he does, which is just get buckets on whoever's guarding him. So
no disrespect to Russ, no disrespect to all the point guards, but put in a pure, this is what I always been saying when I watch KD, putting a pure point guard in that man's vicinity is dangerous, bro.
absolutely.
Like Chris Paul, one of the best point guards ever, is playing with KD. Obviously, he is on the later end of his career, but I still think they could definitely make a run. And, it's looking up for them right now, KD definitely looks comfortable out there, just shooting, he's just getting cardio and just dropping buckets, so it's definitely looking good. Like you said, Booker is looking good. So yeah, we definitely got to see that, teams are probably going back to the drawing board to see what they can do with them now. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to put the Suns as the favorite to win it all now. I mean, CP3, you mentioned, he looks like he's got a spark now that KD has come over to. Easy offense. You just get these guys the ball in their spots and they're going to go score it.
And let's not forget Ayton talk, like he's about, like, obviously, they saying his numbers dropped a little bit, but that's just another big body that you put in there now, so
that 4 right there is that's certainly the best 4, I would say, in the NBA overall right now. CP still looks like he has a lot of juice left. He can still get to a bucket too as well. I mean, when you try and take away those 2 offensive threats, I mean, Chris Paul can still get to it. So
yes, sir. So definitely seeing what the Mavs gonna do this year, man. We're gonna stop them in the West. I know the West is pretty stacked, so we're gonna see how we can do that. We got my boy Debonair in here.
What's up?
What's up is I saw the Knicks score. I saw the Knicks score a game winner against your boys. That's what's up.
Yeah, he cooked right now.
Yeah, it's all good, man. They've been winning for the past few years. They gotta take a timeout.
It's all good. Everyone has their down years.
I had Julius Randle looking like prime Jordan out there, man. The clutch.
Yes, sir, man. Julius Randle definitely has been surprising me over these last few games. This man's been dropping like 30 plus points, and had 40 something the other day. And yeah, he's definitely showing himself and showing his potential. I think that when he first came into the league, he definitely had a lot of expectations before breaking his leg. And now people are starting to still recognize who he is and what he's doing. And yeah, the Knicks are looking good, man. We've been on a 9-game winning streak. We just took a yes, sir. So we're climbing up the ladders right now. We're 5 in the East, and yeah, we're looking to make some noise, man. Obviously, that Jalen Brunson move was definitely needed, and I think that Josh Hart move was also a plus.
Yeah, he's playing good for y'all right now. And
Yeah.
Brunson's really good. Yeah, and Brunson's really taking all the pressure and ball handle from Randall, so that's really good for a setup. Y'all finally got like a point guard that can set up the offense and running through him, and then they don't have to double team Randall. They do double team Brunson, that just leaves Randall open or kick it out to RJ. But Josh Hart also been hot from 3, so that's just doing doing you guys a good service right there.
Yeah, man. I mean, me personally,
quickly balling.
Quickly balling.
Yeah.
Come on now. We got the young boy out there. But I was gonna say, like, in terms of coaching, I used to say that the coaching was kind of iffy, but like with those players, it seems like they're making their plays, instinctively on the court, so they don't gotta really follow too many plays and things like that in terms of coaching. So yeah, let's see how we ride this out in the playoffs.
Facts.
Yes, sir. So you missed our Ja Morant takes there, Dan. You got anything on the Ja Wick situation?
Yeah, we want to run it back. Well, I don't know what you guys touched on, but I just think that it's just a lack of guidance, a lack of leadership in the locker room. Well, accountability as well. I did hear that the big guy, what's his name?
Steven Adams.
Steven Adams, yeah. I heard that right before the incident that day, they had a players only meeting, and he literally told them, like, you guys got to stop partying, start going out on the road, like, especially when we got road games, like, you guys got to focus. Dude goes out anyway in Denver and parties and the whole gun situation. So I think that he needs a lot of people in his circle to be like, listen, bro, like, you're the future of the NBA. Well, you're one of the faces of the NBA, or could be. And then you just gotta be like, yo, you gotta calm down. I understand, like, a young guy, 23 maybe, just getting like 200 mil or something like that. So you feel like you're on top of the world. You feel untouchable. It's just crazy that, like, after all the incidents that happened, that people was just like, yeah, this guy pointed the gun at me at his house. He said the kid said he pointed the gun at him. The Indiana Pacers coaching staff, they said that there was red lasers. So it's like, you gonna really go out and then show a gun? Like, come on now, you're just basically backing up the stuff. So, and then it's just like a weird situation because I analyzed his apology, and he's kind of said that he's going to get help, or like he's going to get treatment or something like that. The way he was saying it is like it's something bigger than it really is, because if you just point a gun, you don't really go to get help from that. If you're going to go get help, it's something from like addiction. Right. So it kind of reads more into it. I feel like that maybe is more underlining, like maybe he has an alcohol problem, but I don't really want to say anything like or talk about he say she shit, but it seems like maybe he's just partying too much. Maybe he's doing some type of partying, some type of like just really not professional athlete stuff, or where you want, or where you expect your elite franchise players to be. And if he's really going to go get help, then it's going to take more than 2 games. Then people suspend that. So it might be throughout the whole season.
What do you think about the situation? Like you said, like what you just said, they're saying that the gun was possibly taken from Denver back to Memphis. Is that what they said?
They can prove that at the wrap.
They proved it already?
I said if they can prove that.
Oh, if they can prove it, it's a wrap. Yeah, it's a wrap. That's 50 games automatically.
Yeah.
It's
if he's on a team plane or any team facilities, he's going to get the 50 games.
And that's just crazy, because you saw people like Gilbert Arenas. Like, you should know that you should know the history of the game, man. And I don't know.
That's a good point you just brought up, though. Like there was 2 incidents, right? There's one in Indiana, and then there was one with a teenage kid, and you still try to wave. Like, it's just like, I don't even want a toy gun or a water gun next to me after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody
staying like even his age, everyone's probably told him, but like I'm telling you, you're a young kid, 200 million in the
Right.
bank, you feel untouchable. So I probably I can see from that angle, but also like if I had 200 million, I'm like, yo, how do I not blow this ever again? It's crazy. You just got a sneaker contract. You just became the face of Powerade. You got big franchises on your ball court. You can't mess that up. That's just crazy.
It's a fact.
Yeah. We got into just the day and age that we're in. You know, I'm sounding a little old with these takes, but you know, young kids these days, they share, you know, every single thing that they're doing for better or worse on their social media.
Yeah.
And I think to a little bit of that, you know, his game is so exciting on the court. I think he kind of just wanted to carry that over to his social media, and definitely just took it too far. You know, you mentioned, you know, him mentioning that he has a problem. I've seen him actually drinking, you know, taking bottles straight to the head on his live before. I'm like, yo, why is he sharing this? But I thought it was just, you know, he just having a good time while he's, you know, not training and stuff like that. But then he pops up with this, so I'm like,
Yeah, I think he might have a drinking problem, honestly.
What's McCall? Herm Edwards, coaching NFL coach. He's like, yeah, just put the phone down sometimes, guy. Don't hit send or don't record on your live. If he would have just done that, he would have been good. Nobody would have known. But
for real,
yeah.
Man. But yeah, man, we wishing the best, man. That's a good player, exciting player, and yeah, man, that's a lot of talent to be wasted. But I think you know, everybody could bounce back from something. So I think he could bounce back. You know, he's still young, and hopefully, you know, he can turn around.
Yeah, amidst all this, when he's on the court, I mean, you know, they were still number 2 seed, even though, you know, after they made the comments again about being good in the West, they've kind of fallen off a little bit. But he just dropped 28 in one quarter on my Lakers last week when they beat us. So and now he's not going to be there tonight. So hopefully we can get this dub and get in the playoffs.
Let's bring it back to the Lakers real quick, man. Like, how you feeling, man? What's going on over there?
Oh, it's that time. If Anthony Davis can just stay healthy for these next couple games, he showed every time that, you know, when he's on the court, he's going to be a dominant player. But I think it just our schedule is really favorable right now. We got a pretty easy schedule coming down, and I think we're going to jump into at least make that play in there. Even without LeBron with his injury. Hopefully we get D'Angelo Russell back because, as soon as players come to the Lakers, they just immediately roll an ankle or get hurt somehow. So hopefully he can come back and help us out.
Anthony Davis has been scoring the most quietest points I've seen this season. Like, I just look up and he has like 38. I'm like, whoa, you feel me? Like, and I'm watching the game, but I'm not like, I'm not seeing him like actually scoring. For some reason, you know, it's just like he just scores quietly now and doing double doubles, you know? So that's good. I mean, hopefully, like you said, he can stay healthy.
Yeah, this is one of the most important stretches for his career for sure. And right now he's showing up. He just got to, again, be able to stay on the court because we absolutely need him with LeBron down. And I think we can, you know, find a way to at least make the play in or make the play in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna see. We got my guy Andrew in the building.
What's going on, fellas?
Yeah. Not much, man. You running it back, Chris? We running it back just so everybody get their take.
I mean, we all gave our takes on Ja Morant. So give us what you got on the Morant situation there, Andrew.
Man, y'all know I'm all over the place with Ja, but for the most part, I think Ja's a knucklehead. I think he has some growing up to do. That suspension, I know he's on a 2-game suspension right now. I'm not sure if they dropped that 50-game suspension yet, but it is more than likely coming. I think that's a little bit of humble pie that he needs to take a slice out of. He's definitely trying to be something or portray something that I don't know if he is or he isn't, but regardless, I mean, how stupid can you be? It's the stupidest move that you could ever do. That's what it really comes down to. I'm trying to stay professional about it, but it's blatantly stupid. I mean, there's no other way you go about it. So let him go sit down somewhere for a little bit. And reevaluate his life. So
yeah, it may be bigger than basketball, man. Like, this sit down may be bigger than on the court stuff. So hopefully that actually helps his off the court, you know, activities too, man. He probably, like you said, needs some growing up to do as a person. So hopefully this helps.
Yeah, what's Ja Morant, like 22?
22, 23.
Yeah. He definitely need to go sit down, grow up for a little bit. So
50 games.
And then your Sixers are coming on strong too, man. Climbing up to the 3 seed right now in the East. You know, they could potentially pass Boston. They're only I think a game and a half behind the Celtics right now too. Probably looking like you all strongest chance, you know, to make a deep playoff run in the Embiid era. What do you think about your Sixers there, Andrew?
Sixers looking pretty tough. You know, I'm going to be with the Sixers all day long. James Harden playing pretty well. I just need us to maintain and keep on grinding. Philly's overall sports run in the past has been promising, but it never ends well. So I'm going to reserve my comment on the Sixers for right now. But we are playing real well. I need my Sixers to keep on going with it.
Okay.
Now that'd be crazy if Sixers make the finals, and then if they lose, it'd be the Eagles, the Phillies, and then what else? There's another soccer team that all just lost.
Yeah, the soccer team that lost literally within like the last
one over there.
3 months.
Yeah, we already set the record for that.
That's crazy. I mean, hopefully they can make it, but the Celtics and the Bucks still looking pretty good. But yeah, hopefully the Sixers could do a little something.
Yeah, they got a well put together team, man. Embiid, Harden, Harris, they really got all the pieces. And I do think Embiid can be, you know, the best player in any given one of those series, even matched up against the Celtics with Tatum or even with the Bucks with Giannis. So yeah, they just gotta shake some of those ghosts that they've had in the past, man, and just bring it home. See if they can bring one home for Philly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Philly needs it right now.
Yeah, I like the Bucks coming out of the East. Honestly,
yeah, the Bucks is looking.
If they stay healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, those top 3 teams are tough.
I still think that we got some tough competition coming out of the West, though.
Of course.
Yeah, me and Al were talking about the Suns, how KD is just fitting in beautifully. And then the Luka and D Book rivalry too continued this past Sunday.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy, you know. Luka definitely is so like, you know, watching the Mavs, I guess they got 2 game closers now. Do you think that they're gonna have an issue trying to see like if it's gonna be Kyrie or Luka in terms of closing the game out, or do you think they just gonna? Because I think that was a issue when they both got there, or when they both started playing with each other. Do you think it's gonna be an issue figuring that out, or you think most likely it's gonna be Luka at this stage?
I don't think anything offensively. When you mention Kyrie or Luka Doncic, I don't think it's going to be a problem. Obviously, you know, we've seen it a couple times now where they have had some late game struggles, but I think they'll be able to figure that out. I think they'll meet their demise defensively. They really got no defensive stoppers, like no rim protection, no outside defenders, no nothing. Like they gave up 130 to the Suns. They've been giving up a couple other big numbers. I think ultimately they're going to lose in the playoffs because of their lack of defense. For me,
yeah, I think that when it comes down to the last shot situation, I think it comes down to whoever has the high hand. Because I seen Kyrie take the last shot, and I seen Luka take the last shot. So it's really whatever they decide, whatever they really want to do, whoever has the best play call, you know. So I don't think they'll have any friction with that, but I know media can always jump in and just start twisting stuff, and then you know Kyrie gonna say something.
Kyrie got something boiling up.
So as soon as something come out, you know Kyrie gonna say a little something. So
yeah,
but deep down, Kyrie knows it's Luka team. So
yeah. Listen, man, I know there was friction in the beginning of this year, man, but I'm not counting out the Warriors, bro. I'm sorry, you know.
Oh yeah, you can never count them out.
You can never count them out.
Definitely can never count them out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you know,
I was talking to my guy at work today. Like it just seems like it's prime for another Warriors run. Like who the teams in front of them, only who I can only fear that will take them down is Phoenix, honestly.
Yeah.
Like who else is really going? No one above them right now has the playoff like experience really. That none of them really got out of the second round. So it's just like a lot of teams, they don't have no experience. They're just young players or just guys that are just like getting stats and not really doing much. So I think it's just prime for Steph Curry to come back and just kill them,
Yeah.
kill West. Honestly, besides, and I think it's ultimately going the Western Conference Finals going to be Suns versus the Warriors. That's what I think.
Hey, how y'all feel about the Clippers' current situation, especially with Russell over there starting?
They finished.
What's y'all take on that?
They might not even get out the play in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
They
I don't see them. Yeah, I don't see the Clippers making a run. They still got PG and Kawhi, but yeah, I think Russell Westbrook is ultimately going to be their downfall.
No, I mean, like, look, they eighth right now in the West. Like, you know, they got a couple games left. Like, I think they definitely gonna make changes to that roster if they notice that they're really slipping. But they definitely gonna make the play in, or even, you know, they're definitely in playoff position right now. So I don't think Tyronn is really gonna play around with Russell Westbrook. He don't got time for that, bro.
So what you think that move is to bench him and have Russell come off the bench?
Possibly.
They only got 10 games left, so
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
yeah.
He
I mean,
was actually doing pretty well coming off the bench for Lakers. I don't know why they thought his issue is just that he's not a shooter. Like, and you add him to a roster that's like, again, they already don't have a lot of outside shooting. They got, you know, a couple guys, but Russ just doesn't shoot it that well. And I thought he would have been better for them off the bench too, but they could have still.
Space.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. I mean, I'm looking at. I hope he get better because I mean, personally, like this year, if the Lakers, he was doing better than he did last year, you know, as a player. But you know, obviously, it looks like he's on the tail end of his career. Yeah, I don't know what to say, bro. Like, because they just been on a slump. I don't know. He's just poisoning every team. Like, like I don't know what to tell y'all at this point, man. But you know, he's definitely he's definitely a Hall of Famer, so you got to put some respect on his name. But yeah, you know, hopefully they do a little something, see some LA rivalry.
Yes, sir. Yeah, to finish up with the MVP race is heating up too. There was big debate that you know, we were talking about in the group chat earlier. Interested to see who you guys got as the front runner for MVP right now, coming down the home stretch of the season.
I mean, the front row, the obvious. I mean, I guess you could say obvious, but the people what they want right now is Jokic. But I don't really care about that because I'm not impressed with the triple double stats. I've never been impressed even when Westbrook was getting them. Like, even though I get it. They say like, oh, because when he gets a triple double, they win and whatever. But that's cool. That's really cool. But like a lot of the time, most of the MVP has been the best scorer on the best team or top 3 teams or whatever. And he's putting up like 24 and then 10 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those are very good numbers. It's amazing numbers. But who else could you really argue right now that's doing good? Like Tatum's in a skid, Embiid's all right. But I like Giannis, but I don't think they'll give it to him. So I really don't have no dog in that fight, really.
It's a runaway for Jokic.
The way they hyping it, yeah.
I mean,
it's definitely looking that way. The only reason, you know, it's even a debate this year, really, because like you said, Dan, you know, usually the best player, highest scoring player on the best team normally gets it. His team is by far the best team this year, at least out west. Only reason is just because he's won the last 2 already. And, you know, people just don't, you know, giving away 3 MVPs in a row. That's a big accomplishment that, you know, the last person to do it was Larry Bird in the 80s. So that's just been, you know, the topic of discussion. Has he really, you know, looking back on it, has he really been worth the MVP 3 years in a row? I don't know.
Has he been him?
But yeah, if you're just looking at this season, it's hard pressed to skip over him. You can throw Giannis in there. They just had a 16-game win streak or whatever it was. So
yeah,
he has dominant numbers as well. He's been without Chris Middleton for much of the season, even though Middleton's back now. And they're the number 1 seed in the East too. So I could put Giannis up there. But really, it will be a short list to debate on right now, I would say too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Embiid got cheated. I mean, this is just for previous year, but like
Yeah, I
that's
was
just
about
me.
to say that.
I definitely think, I don't know if it was, I think it was last year or the year before. Like
I
he
think last year
definitely
he should have won it. Yeah,
Yeah, last year MB got cheated. So
he got cheated.
I think he
you
should have
know?
won it last year.
Yeah, and
The
that
thing
doesn't put.
is,
What was you gonna say?
I think the thing is about MVP, they always have a narrative. It's always this person did such and such accolade, really.
Right.
And then this one, like the whole triple double for a big man thing, that's his narrative. Who's really taken away from that? Like
Right.
Russell Westbrook was 60 when he won MVP, but he had triple double. That was his narrative. Most of the MVPs have some type of narrative. Oh, like most of them is like, oh, they just started putting up crazy numbers. That's like how Giannis was when he won his MVP, and then went back to back because he put up these crazy numbers. Like you couldn't. They made up the narrative. You couldn't stop him. And then he got a great narrative right now, and that's what the NBA thrives off of. So I think they're gonna give it to him.
Yeah.
It seems like they move the goalpost for MVP every year. Like you said, like,
Oh yeah,
I got it because of this story. Then next year it's a completely different story. Like they should just come out with, say what the parameters are that they're going off of. Then at least you can say like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But they just seem like they're
Would
just
that cause if they say the parameters though? Would that cause for stat padding? You know what I'm saying?
You could say there's already stat padding.
You're right.
Your boy does it a lot.
Who are you talking about?
Boy, stat pad, bro.
You saw they took Giannis rebound away. I forgot what
that was definitely a stat pad rebound though.
Yeah. Man just did back to Papa.
Giannis, I like Giannis. He's funny.
Yeah. I would like to see them get another ring, you know what I mean? But yeah, now the NBA is definitely looking good. I mean, obviously, like, just to put on some individual performances, Dame Dollar has been going crazy. I know y'all saying he about to rot over in Portland, but man, this man just dropped 71 like it was nothing. They had to drug test that man, and he dropped like 40 something last game. But yeah, I'm excited. I think they're gonna make a big change next year because this is just crazy for him to not get any type of looks or nobody join him to get a ring, But I definitely see something.
Fault.
You think it's his fault?
It's his fault. You keep signing back to the people. Like no one told you to stay there. Why you keep doing contract extensions? Just leave, bro. Like I have no sympathy for the dude, man.
My man said
I love Dame,
loyal.
but like that's everybody else forced trades. Everybody just leave free agency. You want to be loyal to the grind, whatever you keep saying to people. Like it's your fault, man. Suck it up. You're gonna be the greatest scorer in Portland history, but no rings. All right. It'd be like that. That's your legacy. That's the legacy you want. That's what you're saying.
It's a new day and age, but Mr. Dollar over there still got that 90s mentality of staying with one squad and doing something. But I don't ever see him moving. I don't see his career going anywhere further than where it's at right now. He's probably gonna ride out the wave in Portland. I'm not sure how much time left he got in his career, but if he don't unless he get help or do something career-wise, all he is gonna be a quick news headline or a quick mention on a podcast.
It's crazy, man.
Dang.
It's crazy. I'm just trying to see what changes can be made. I mean, obviously, as you see, he can't really make that many changes right now, unless the only person I can see is probably Giannis, because that's the only like available person right now. It seems like everybody is joined up to a team. All the great players right now. Because he's a point guard, so he needs like a 3 or a 4 to kind of,
Yeah, that's the thing too. Any major deal that they would have to make, he will probably be involved in the deal anyway too. So for them to bring in another superstar, it's gonna have to be most likely through free agency, and people just don't want to go up to Portland. Like,
don't he make 50 mil? They're not trading for anybody. He literally caps the team. He makes like 50, 60, right?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that either. Yeah, he's cashing out.
Yeah, he really caps the team, so it's his fault, man. Like I said.
Talk about it.
Dang, keep doing what you're doing. Keep getting buckets, man.
Keep up the grind, bro.
Yeah, the grind never stops.
Yeah, never run from the grind.
Oh, wow.
Oh man. But yeah, we'll be back, man. Playoff
Yes,
races,
sir.
playoffs are gonna be here before we know it. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts on the Josh situation, the playoff races, and the MVP race. And we'll holler at you all next time.
Deuces.
Deuces.